Isaiah chapter 42 begins with a description of the Lord's chosen servant, the Savior of His people and the Savior of all nations. This is Isaiah 42, verses 1 through 4. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the nations. He will not cry aloud or lift up his voice or make it heard in the street. A bruised reed he will not break, and a faintly burning wick he will not quench. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not grow faint or be discouraged till he has established justice in the earth, and the coastlands wait for his law. Jesus was extraordinary and divine in every virtuous quality, but this passage especially emphasizes his gentleness. Jesus wasn't a warrior king, at least not in the conventional sense. He wasn't shouting at sinners from the street corners. Jesus wasn't leading mobs of protesters through the streets. Jesus' way of leading, teaching, and correcting was extraordinarily humble, quiet, and gentle. If any man ever had the right to be proud, loud, and condescending, of course it would have been Jesus, but that wasn't the nature of his ministry. There were times that he publicly rebuked the Pharisees, and a few times that he was flipping tables in the courtyard of the temple. There were a few unusual instances that merited that response, but that was not the nature or substance of his ministry. His work was defined by unrelenting humility, kindness, and gentleness. That's the idea of this passage here in Isaiah. A bruised reed he will not break, a faintly burning wick he will not quench. This means that fragile situations and fragile people, that's people on the very cusp of collapse, breaking, and burning out, Jesus would handle with perfect gentleness. The full text of this passage is quoted by Matthew in chapter 12. And many people followed him, and he healed them all and ordered them not to make him known. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. Behold, my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved with whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not quarrel or cry aloud, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not quench, until he brings justice to victory, and in his name the Gentiles will hope. Matthew says that Jesus' actions in this situation were the fulfillment of prophecy. Jesus healed the masses and then commanded them that they not make him known. Jesus did this many other times, and I've always wondered why. Why wouldn't he want these people to go tell the world? Wouldn't he want them to spread the good news? Why would he restrain them from doing what they would obviously be inclined to do? I've hypothesized about his potential reasons, but really Matthew seems to give us the reason here. Jesus was fulfilling prophecy. Jesus, in this instance, by withholding the masses from proclaiming him, was actually demonstrating his divine humility and gentleness. He came to seek and save the lost. Jesus did not come to create a spectacle. He didn't come to be a celebrity. He didn't come to overthrow society. He came to fulfill prophecy, to die as a humble servant, to redeem all of mankind. Jesus conquered the world with peace, kindness, and gentleness, not with war, violence, and vitriol. If we are his disciples, we will follow this example. Thanks for listening.